We need some Cobra Kai Season 6 news ASAP. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. Today I'm giving you my ranking of all 5 seasons of Cobra Kai, as I just recently finished watching the show for the very first time. If you guys haven't checked out my episode reaction series, check it out. I will link it up above. Had an absolute blast and fell in love with this show, so I'm very excited to rank these 5 seasons because I've never formally done that. Before I do, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below your favorite season of the show, your least favorite season of the show, and of course your ranking of the 5 seasons. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified for all my future Cobra Kai reaction videos and videos in general. I'll preface by saying that I love every season for different reasons, and I don't think there is a bad season of this show. But coming in last place for me is Cobra Kai Season 2. Again, when I first watched this, I was a huge defender of it, and I still am. I don't think this is a bad season by any means. It is great TV, just like every single season of the show. Just looking back, it might be the least memorable, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a very summer set season, which I'm totally cool with. I love the summer chill vibes, but a lot still does happen. The drama is still at an all-time high here. We get more development for Sam and Robbie as they sort of have a little relationship going on. We also get introduced to Tori this season, who would end up becoming one of the better, like, villainous characters who has a nice arc of her own as we get into later seasons. But the whole Tori, Miguel, Robbie, Sam love square, I'll call it, that whole thing was birthed in this season. Johnny's running Cobra Kai and it's going well. They just won the All Valley. And they've got Daniel running Miyagi-Do with just Robbie and Sam trying to grow that out. But of course, this whole season culminates with the school fight in the finale, which is one of the best episodes of the show to date. Season 2, episode 10, titled No Mercy, is fantastic. The tension that has been building all season just overflows and we get a full-on brawl. Tori vs. Sam is an epic showdown. Miguel and Robbie have a fight that ends in Robbie being injured severely. I have no clue what was going through my brain when I said Robbie there. I wholeheartedly meant Miguel. And it was very scary to watch for the first time. Like, through 5 seasons, that episode might be the most epic. I love a good summer season. This is exactly what season 2 was. It would be fun to rewatch during the summertime, and of course it ends setting up the return of Allie as Johnny throws his phone, sees the Facebook friend request from Allie. My 4th favorite season of Cobra Kai is season 1, which feels disrespectful to say because it is the one that started it all, but I still thoroughly enjoy this. This was when Cobra Kai was the smallest scale, and it was basically a soft remake of the first Karate Kid movie where Johnny is Mr. Miyagi. The whole season, Johnny is developing this father-son relationship with Miguel, and then we find out he wasn't really there for his own son, Robbie, and Daniel's trying to put a stop to Cobra Kai. All this builds up to the All Valley tournament in which we see Robbie fight Miguel. Just an epic tournament. This season introduced us right back into the Karate Kid world like we never left. It also gave us Johnny's perspective on a lot of events from Cobra Kai, which was something I never thought we would see. This season is responsible for making Johnny so likable, honestly changing the way I view the Karate Kid movie. And at the very end of the season, Kreese pulls up, and that was just one of the biggest holy shit moments of the show. It's crazy how far the show has come since season 1, but it is the most small-scale story and one of the more emotionally effective because of that. My 3rd favorite season of Cobra Kai is actually Cobra Kai Season 4, which I don't know if this is a hot take. I know a lot of people love this. Don't get me wrong. It's an epic, great season that builds up to our second All Valley in the show. And of course, it introduces Terry Silver. How could you not love that? Thomas Ian Griffith came in like he never left. He's better than ever as Terry Silver here, slowly working his way into Cobra Kai, becoming a co-sensei with Kreese and starting to run things, but ultimately screwing Kreese over as Silver is the ultimate manipulator and gets his way in the end. He's a menace in this season, and you'll love to see it. One of the lower points of the season was the introduction of Kenny, just because it felt like such a weird turn for the show, kind of abandoning all the characters that we knew and loved from the previous seasons. But by the end of it, it kind of makes sense, and in season 5, I can see why they wanted to add this character in more, especially for Robbie's arc. And it also did give Anthony LaRusso more of a role, so I guess I see what they were doing. But there was a ton of highlights in the season. We got the official rematch of Johnny and Daniel that ended in a tie. We got to see another All Valley, which is one of the most epic episodes of the show to date. It's basically a 2-part finale, and I think one of the best fights is Robbie versus Hawk. That is incredible. We also get a fight to the end between Tori and Sam that we would later find out was rigged because the refs were paid off, and it's just, oh, such a gut punch moment. And of course, we've got Prom, where we continue to see the rival between Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and Eagle Fang. It's all overflowing here, but more importantly, we get the after-party brawl. Stingray has a little role here, which again, you love to see. And all around, this is one of the most fun seasons of Cobra Kai, where the stakes have been raised higher than they've ever been, because the All Valley tournament wasn't just, you know, a regular All Valley. They were fighting for the survival of their dojos, and Cobra Kai won, so they got to stick around, and Miyagi-Do had to close their doors. The inclusion of Silver here and then Kreese getting screwed over is one of the best aspects of season 4, and I thoroughly enjoyed enjoyed it. My runner-up for my favorite season of Cobra Kai is season 3. The season starts out in a pretty dark place. Robbie's on the run and he ends up getting arrested and going to juvie. Johnny's in a really bad place after all the insanity that went down in the season 2 finale school brawl. And LaRusso Otto's future is looking pretty bleak, so everyone's very down in the dumps at the start of season 3. But this is a season that's about redemption. We've got the whole arc where Daniel goes over to Okinawa and he sees Kumiko, and there's just a gut-wrenching moment in the mid-season finale where he's reading the letter from Mr. Miyagi. I teared up. It's one of the most moving moments in the entire Karate Kid universe. But we also got Shozen in that episode and Daniel learning a new way to fight. And of course, Johnny opens up Eagle Fang here and he tries to get back after the karate game. This season was like right before the final breaking point of Johnny and Daniel's relationship where they had to fight it out in season 4. Their relationship here is further explored when Allie comes back near the end of the season and she sort of gives them both advice about moving on from the past. It all seems fine and dandy until we get near the end of the season. We ended season 2 with the school brawl, so season 3 ended it with a Christmas brawl, essentially. I think out of all 5 seasons, this season might have the best score. Duel of the Snakes and Carol of Cobras. December 19th, which is the finale episode, may or may not be my top spot for my favorite episode of all time in Cobra Kai. Stay tuned for my top 10 episodes. But Johnny pulls up to Cobra Kai and ends up fighting Kreese. Robbie gets involved. Daniel comes in to save the day. It's just epic as hell. And that's when the ball gets rolling for season 4, where they basically say whoever loses All Valley is done. This season developed character relationships further. It had a lot of callbacks to the trilogy. The characters that did return had very meaningful roles. And all the flashbacks with Kreese, especially in that finale, hit different. They really characterized Kreese and set up the return of Silver really well too. The Okinawa arc and then the final 2 episodes just put this one really high on my list. But taking my top spot for my favorite season of Cobra Kai is season 5. Season 5 is Terry Silver's season. He's a full-on James Bond villain and I loved every second of it. The man's a menace. He's 5 steps ahead of you for the most part and he's always gonna outsmart everyone in the room. He is just so easy to root against, and a strong villain is something that's necessary for great TV. We have the return of Shozen this season as a main character, him and Daniel kind of investigating Silver, trying to put an end to it in the first half of the season. We do see a little interaction with Mike Barnes there as well, but this is a season that's essentially about character growth and even family. The first 2 episodes, Miguel goes on this adventure to try and find his dad. Devastating stuff, and he has that phone call with his mom and says, "You were right, I love you." But Johnny makes a lot of amends here. He's like the dad of the year this season. He's got a full-on great relationship with Robbie, but he's also there for Miguel when Miguel's at his lowest of lows after that interaction he has with his dad, Hector. Johnny's also going to have another kid as Carmen is pregnant, and I'm excited for the future of their family. I hope they really show that in season 6. But I think that the first half of the season focuses on the fall of Daniel. He's deteriorating fast, becoming obsessed with stopping Silver, and that mid-season finale when Daniel gets his ass beat is brutal. I mean, he is down in the dumps. And it's after that moment where everyone bands together to fight for Daniel and take down Cobra Kai. We also have the water park episode, which I found to be a lot of fun. I know a lot of people like to hate on that one, but it's enjoyable summer fun. In the back half of the season, we've got Kim Dae-eun who comes in and she's trying to like test the strength of these Cobra Kai students. They basically have a full-on army with all the senseis they have. The scale of this show is the grandest it's ever been in season 5, as talks of the Sekai Taikai, the world tournament, have been brought in as Silver's trying to take Cobra Kai global. And for a while, it seemed as though Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do were both going to be going to Sekai Taikai until the final 2 episodes when Cobra Kai finally dies, it seems. The finale of this season is probably the most epic of the show so far. Johnny, Shozen, and Mike Barnes pull up to Silver's house. We get a full-on brawl. There's a samurai sword fight, essentially, between Shozen and Terry Silver. We get a rematch of Danny Boy and Silver, where Danny Boy uses the crane kick, and it's like, that might be the biggest fist pump moment of the show. And Johnny has this second wave where he fights for his family and just kicks ass. Like, everyone has their moment to shine in this finale episode. Per usual, we get a brawl between the different groups of kids. Stingray has his time to shine, which I loved. And it seemed as though Kreese was dead, but at the very end, he's a free man. He's broken out. Season 5 has callbacks with Mike Barnes and the appearance of Jessica, but this season is the biggest in scale, the most epic, and there's the most at stake. It feels like we've left, a karate tournament and people's lives are seriously in danger here. That's because Terry Silver's such a great villain who will do whatever it takes to secure the safety and future of Cobra Kai. He's that obsessive and is a damn great villain who finally gets beat out at the very end. My one thing about season 5 is it was so great, especially at tying a bow on all these stories. I feel like it could have been the end of Cobra Kai. They could have added maybe 30 or 40 minutes to show where everyone was at, do a little time jump, and just left Kreese dead or left him in prison, because that's the one loose end as we head into a future season 6 where I don't know where they're going to head with the show. I just don't want it to overextend its stay because I've enjoyed enjoy the hell out of all 5 seasons, and I feel like they had a perfect stopping point, but I've doubted them before and they always seem to prove me wrong, so I am excited for season 6, of course. I enjoyed season 5 the most, and it is at the top for me because I think it's the season that focuses the most on character development and just relationships between characters, and that's the most important aspect of any show for me. But that's just my ranking of all 5 seasons of Cobra Kai. Definitely let me know yours in the comments down below, and be sure to hit that like button. What do you think of my ranking? Again, I didn't talk about every little detail from all the seasons because that video would be hours long, and also I watched all the episodes on my channel and did in-depth talks about them, so check out my Cobra Kai reaction series up above if you're interested. But now the wait for season 6 begins, at least for me. It's been months longer for a lot of you guys, so I feel for you. But we might not get season 6 until next year, which is upsetting, but hopefully we'll get it maybe December of this year. That would be nice. Let me know some of your season 6 predictions down below, and stay tuned for other Cobra Kai videos I have coming very soon. Thank you guys again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.